Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. No, it's okay. I got some Joes for y'all today. You know what this means. My next batch of 5 G.I. Joe classified figures are in. I'm very pumped. I now have a complication, though. I got my first package swiped last weekend, and I'm super pissed about it. Nothing to do with G.I. Joe, one of the other main franchises I reveal. And yeah, so I had a few books delivered today, so the whole day I was like refreshing the tracking, and they finally arrived. I was like, Dad, can you go put these in the house for me? Because he's just around the corner. And like, it's crazy, but these delivery companies, like, I have a mailbox on the wall beside my door, on the outer wall, with my unit number right above it. You can't mistake whose fucking unit it's for. And then I also have a screen door and a front door where you can put packages between so they're hidden. And they just leave them like right on the front mat in front of the door. You can see it from the sidewalk. It's 20 feet away. You can just walk up and go, thank you. Like, I'm like, you guys are professional delivery people. Figure it out. Fuck me. Anyways, didn't want to start things off on a negative note, but I'm pissed. I'm very pissed because I'm not going to get the money back for that lost package, right? So, you know, even though he just left it out in the middle of the fucking porch, you know, whatever. But anyways, these 5 have been secured and they are awesome. Let's get into it. A couple of martial artists to start off with. The first one, Jinx. Jinx was a super cool character. In the original cartoon, she didn't appear until the G.I. Joe movie, which I think similar to, I can't remember exactly, but similar to Transformers, it was like, it went season 1, season 2, whatever, and then movie, and then a final season sort of thing. Maybe Transformers had 2 final seasons after the movie, but they were very short, I think, you know what I mean? Similar to G.I. Joe. I can't remember exactly how it went, but the G.I. Joe movie came close to the end of the run of the G.I. Joe cartoon. And she only shows up in the movie, but she's a major player. Basically, there's a group of new recruits in the movie that are they're whipping into shape at the training center. Sergeant Slaughter is in charge of them all, and then Beachhead is their kind of drill master at the place. So she ends up becoming a love interest to Lieutenant Falcon, who's one of the recruits as well. Tunnel Rat's in there. Chuckles is in there. Law and Order are in there, and there's a couple other ones I may have forgotten. Really cool movie though. The G.I. Joe movie is awesome. And so Jinx basically gets her nickname because people feel that bad things happen when she's around. So not a great nickname to have, but it's cool sounding one at least. So she is a martial arts master. She's really diminutive, really small, but very mighty. Prefers to fight blindfolded, and she references in that movie my blind ninja master who taught me. So, and eventually they flesh this out in the comics, that she is part of the Arashikage clan, who Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow all belong to. So she's got martial arts in her blood, so to speak. Her real name isn't known. It's very classified, but in the comics she's known as Kim or Kimmy Arashikage. I have her G1 character. I played with it a ton as a kid because she's just basically this woman that's basically all robed in red. That's all she is. Like, she's a very weird looking character, but she's got some cool ninja weapons, and yeah, I quite enjoyed her when I was a kid. So that is Jinx. Next up, Quick Kick. He looks like Bruce Lee. He's a motor mouth. He loves to quote movie lines. He's just a character, and he can back it up with feet and hands of fury, sort of thing. So his real name is MacArthur Ito, I think. He's originally from Los Angeles. Jinx also from Los Angeles. And basically, growing up, he was kind of rejected by everybody because he's half Japanese, half Korean, and nobody really wanted to accept him. So he always felt like an outsider. He loved basketball growing up, but he was very short, so he couldn't really become a good... Oh, we got a raccoon at the window. Oi! Stop trying to steal my flip-flop. Oi! Fuckface. Keeps trying to steal my flip-flop. Stop it. Hey, son of a bitch. Brief pause. He actually tried to take it with him. Buzz, did you see that? Just gotta get my shoes, man. Oh my god. Raccoons. Fuzz, where were you when I needed you? Okay, yeah, this thing literally tries to take my flip-flop. I may have fixed his wagon this time. I put a board over the entrance where they come up. Jammed it in there good, so maybe they won't be able to get up through there anymore. Not that that'll stop them. They're little buggers. Anyways. Quick kick, again, yes. So, couldn't play basketball because he was too small. But he did take to martial arts, and he knows so many different types, and he became very skilled at it. And he eventually became a stuntman in the movies, thus the movie quote tendency to kind of do. So the G.I. Joe team took notice of his prowess and eventually got him to sign up and enlist as a Joe, and that made Quick Kick part of the team. Also had his original toy, and yeah, I played with his a lot too. I do these staged little ninja battles, right? With you pose them and get these kicks going on. Kick to the face. Oh, good times back in the day. Good times. Next up, Rakondo. He is a very early Joe. So Jinx, for example, her original toy was released in 1987 when the movie was out. Quick Kick was 1985, but Rakondo 1984. So one of the very early Joes. Remember Dusty? You can kind of see him back around the corner there in the desert-colored fatigues. Dusty lived and breathed the desert. He was at home in the desert. That was his favorite place to be, whereas most people are like, be in the desert? Who the fuck would want to be in the desert? Dusty, anything desert, he does it, he lives it, he breathes it, he shits in it, he fights in it, and he fights well in it. Rakondo is that for the jungle. He is strictly an infantryman, but he wants to be in the jungle. That's where he is at home. Whereas most people would be like, oh, it's so humid and there's bugs falling on me and there's snakes and shit. Rakondo's like, eat it up, baby, right? He is the jungle. And he is so at home in the jungle that he can use the jungle and its various aspects, whether it be the trees, the native wildlife, whatever, he can use those to his advantage while fighting the enemy or trying to get the drop on the enemy, playing tricks on the enemy, that sort of thing, right? The jungle is his jam. His real name is Daniel LeClaire. He's from a small town in Wisconsin. And yeah, I got Recondo because he's like a classic Joe, like one of the originals. Not necessarily that much because I really liked his character. He was a great character, but there's so many great Joes out there. I didn't get him because he's one of my absolute faves. I more so got him because he's one of the more original guys, and I thought, you know, he would be a cool guy to have on the shelf for that kind of reason, right? So, Recondo. Next up, this guy's classic. He's so cool. Spirit. Real name, Charlie Iron Knife, known as Spirit Iron Knife, from a town called Teos, I think, New Mexico. And obviously you can see, forgive me if I get this wrong, I don't know what they're called anymore, like a Native American. I don't know. I've lost track of all the political correctness and the wokeism these days that I forget what you're even supposed to fucking call people anymore. But anyways, a Native American. Spirit was all about nature. So a very, I don't want to say grim, but a very serious dude, but low-key at the same time. Very attuned to nature. He has a small bird here, Freedom, an eagle, that he kind of has with him all the time. His main thing is that he's an expert tracker. He can pick up on any little subtle hint and track anything. And just be at home basically anywhere in the outdoors sort of thing. So that's what kind of his bread and butter is in the G.I. Joe verse. And his figure originally was released in 1984, so he was a pretty early Joe as well. I never had his character, but it is very distinct. And you'll see that when I go through the original pictures a little while from now. But just, you know, the longer hair, the headband, the blue shirt with the brown pants. Like, he was a very distinct mold of a figure, and very interesting character. I love watching Spirit and on the screen, and also in the comics. He's featured into the comics a little bit lately. Remember that there was 5 issues of like the silent comics where nothing was said? He was one of the characters that featured into those comics, and his issue was one of my favorite ones of the whole bunch. And funnily enough, in the cartoon, Spirit oftentimes gets paired off with Quick Kick. And Quick Kick being the motor mouth, jokey, movie quote kind of guy. He's always quoting stuff to Spirit and trying to get him to laugh and stuff like that. But Spirit's, you know, very, very solemn and whatever. And you know, things don't usually land with Spirit like Quick Kick would want them to. So he's always trying to like crack Spirit, right? And that got me to thinking once I started remembering that when I was looking these guys up. Spirit in that vein reminds me very much so of Billy from the original Predator movie. If you remember the group of soldiers that went in under Arnie's command into that jungle and basically all got decimated. There was a Native American guy there called Billy, and he was very much the same as Spirit. Carried a big long knife, was the tracker, was attuned to the nature and everything. And he was also a very solemn guy. And there was one guy in the crew that was always telling jokes and getting everybody to laugh. And Billy was the one guy that he couldn't get to crack. And so it very much reminded me of that situation. Although eventually the guy does get Billy to crack in the movie, and his laugh is pretty furious once he does. And then they all die. So, you know, there wasn't a happy ending there. But anyway, Spirit. Awesome classic Joe. Last one of my favorite Joes of all time. Just his gear and the nature of what he does. I was like, this guy's fucking awesome. And his name is Blowtorch. I wonder what kind of weapon he carries, right? Yeah. His name, Timothy Hanrahan. He's from Ireland. And his original character was out in 1984, just like Recondo and Spirit. So he was an early Joe. And so basically the write-up on him is like, you may think that Timothy Blowtorch is afraid of fire, because whenever he goes into a building, he's always searching for all the fire exits. He always makes sure all the smoke detectors are working, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's not that he fears fire, it's that he respects it. You know, he knows the power of fire. And so he knows everything about the nature of fire, chemical warfare, that sort of thing. Anything that's in the fire, explosive, flammable, incendiary kind of realm, this guy knows it. It's his jam, it's his shit, and that's why when he goes onto the battle pitch, he carries a flamethrower, right? One of the only Joes, maybe the only Joe, that is capable of taking a flamethrower into battle. And as kids, you know, who doesn't love a guy that brings a flamethrower to the table, right? Fucking sick. So yeah, Blowtorch. He was a new release in August or September. So he came up for pre-order, and I was like, I didn't even think about it. It's like, oh, do I have enough money that month? Ah, pre-order, right? Because he is one of the guys that are near and dear to my heart. There's still a handful of guys that like same as Blowtorch, that as soon as I see them up for pre-order, it's like instant click. One of those actually is coming out in January, so a very cool one. So I'm very excited for that one. But there are lots more on the way. There's been some pre-orders. There's been some ones I've been keeping my eye on. So these will be going for at least a little while longer. I've got lots of guys left that I have acquired or I plan on acquiring. So this is nowhere near the end. Mark my words. So let's get these guys out of the box. See all their accessories. See all their beautiful detailing jobs. And then put them on the rack up there. It's getting a little busy. First up, Jinx. Oh yeah, and it says right here, Kim Jinx Arashikage. Yeah, she's got some cool weapons and a little black backpack that she carries them in on her back. I was always dragging her around with her little accessories to... Oh, it doesn't look like she has the backpack in this one. All her little accessories. I was always taking places. I'd go to family Christmas and I'd have like my Game Boy, a bunch of G.I. Joe figures. Like, everywhere I went, I had toys. Right? Nothing's changed. Okay, so there she is. When I put her on the shelf, I'm probably going to put the robed head on. That's how I know her from the original mold. You know, she always had that on. So that's... Oh, she does have the blindfold. Ooh, this is a tough choice. So I could go with the red, robed head, or I could put the blindfold on her, because that's how she sometimes trains and fought. But that's a tough call. That's a tough call. I got a few minutes to think about it. Yeah, she comes with some different hand options. It's always nice to have options, right? And yeah, like this thing was her big weird weapon. This kind of two-sided, whatever that is. That was the one I remember as a kid. And of course, she has a sword. Swing swords. Ah! Jinx, I'm sorry. So those are all her accoutrements. There she is. Ninja extraordinaire. Now let's get into another martial arts master. Quick kick. Man. I swear Jinx came with a backpack in her original one. And usually I find these characters, they've been... Everything they had with their original toy, they make as an accessory in the classified series, but for that one they didn't. So maybe I'm mistaking it and I'm thinking of somebody else. But yeah, there's Mr. Quick Kick. One of the few Joes, maybe the only Joe, to not wear a shirt, right? So he's got an extra head. He's got his mouth pursed a little bit. Ooh, like, ooh, I'm gonna kick your ass, little bitch. You little bitch. Couple of swords. Oh, nunchucks. You know that's what I'm giving him. We'll call him Michelangelo. It's a party, dude. Nunchaku. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be putting him on the shelf with the nunchakus in hand. That is a no-brainer. And then he's got Fists of Fury. And then he's got like the straight hand, like, oh, throat chop. Yeah, Quick Kick was a great character. He was so entertaining. Such a range of characters on G.I. Joe. That's what made it so great. Oh, shit. So many different personalities. He's got a little backpack. He can put his swords in it. And he's got a little open chocolate bar. I can't remember, like, this is ringing a bell, but I can't remember exactly why. And then he's got, it looks like, a throwing star effect thing. I'm not sure exactly what that is supposed to do, but yeah, I don't know. I just tried to look at the package to see if there's anything on there. It shows it, but it doesn't show how he's using it, so no matter. Oh, here comes the Hondo. These ones are, I like the card back, like the OG throwback card back packaging, but it is super hard to get into. Who's on the back of this? Recondo, Scarlet. I've got Scarlet. I can look at the other one. Oh, it's Duke. I got Duke too. Some OGs here, like I said, Duke and Scarlet. If Rekondo's included in that group, like, you know you're legit then, right? Okay, and that's what I like about the card back. They come with these stands. I'd like to see if I can just buy like a package of them, like, for all my guys that didn't come with them, you know what I mean? I'm sure they do. I'm sure they sell those. They probably did it this way so they could sell them. Like, we'll just bait people along with the card back ones, and then once they realize these stands are awesome and they don't have them for their other ones, they'll just order them. You are correct, Hasbro. You are correct. There's Recondo. The mustache, eh? Oh, you see that? You got to get a good look at that. That mustache. Isn't that a beauty? So he comes with his infamous half folded up hat thing. We'll just shuffle Quick Kick stuff down there. Backpack with a little sleeping log and all that shit. Like, this guy's pure jungle. All of his shit is like that classic army jungle green, you know what I mean? A little machete for chopping the shit out of stuff. Little handgun. And a little machine gun. So that is our dear Recondo. Spirit. So this will be the third animal I have. Because we got Mutton Junkyard, the man and his dog. And then we got Raptor, who's got his raptor. And now we got Spirit, who has freedom. Huh. Okay, now, this is interesting. Okay, so we got Spirit here. Great looking figure. We got his eagle, Freedom, who goes on his arm. Yeah. And then we've got these giant wings. Are they? Oh, I see. You can actually. Jesus. Hi, Fuzz. So you can take these out. Hi, kitty. What's up, girl? Oh, so you can put wings in. That's cool. So you can have him kind of soaring. God, it's amazing. His wings go that big, right? I'm sure it's correct, too. I'm sure it's anatomically correct. I was like, did he go on Spirit? Like, I've never seen him wear wings before. And he's got a pack. Rifle. Oh, Fuzz, what are you doing? Little pistol. Little knife. That's not a knife. Ah! And then a different knife. Hi, kitty. You want to play G.I. Joe? You can be the monster. We'll take you down. Wait, okay. You better not be planning on sitting down, eh? You just had to make a cameo, didn't you? You had to be in the movie. You knew it was Quick Kick's turn, eh? Hey, you little pickle? Who's a good little pickle? This is who I'm dealing with whenever I'm talking to Fuzz when I'm playing video games. This little porker. Always grabbing my attention, aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you? All right. The one I've been most looking forward to, Mr. Blowtorch. Who's your favorite, Fuzz? I dare you to knock over your favorite. Look at this. Look at all the shit he comes with. You got like a big stream of fire to go out of his blowtorch thing. I never used those things, like, unless I was actually playing with them as a kid. I probably wouldn't use them. It's like greasy on the backside or something. All right. Blowtorch. Look at that guy. Can you tell he's from Ireland? He's pretty pasty. And I know what that's all about. My ancestors are from England, so I was always blessed with a pasty complexion. Although once we bought the house with the pool, I then started tanning up because I spent so much damn time outside. It was painful, a painful process, but it got there. So that is his little backpack that has the fuel tanks on it. And he's got the blowtorch mask. Oh, look at that. Like a gas mask sort of thing. And then the helmet that goes over top of it. Obviously, I'm going to be putting this gear on him. Like, this is sick. His big blowtorch. Flamethrower. Another fire effect. And then, of course, the hose that connects the flamethrower to the fuel tanks, and then of course a little handgun, a little pistol. So yeah, this is everybody. These are the 5 characters for this round. They're all Joes, no Cobra here. But I do have, I believe, at least a couple Cobra coming up in the near future. 1 or 2 for sure on the next round, I think. But yeah, the show was way more heavy in favor of the Joes than the Cobras, so it's always going to be more Joe heavy, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as I keep getting more and more characters, I don't give a shit which side they belong to. Just gimme, right? Okay, needless to say, I am very happy with this particular batch of Joes. There's a lot of variety. There's a lot of differences between these 5 characters, which is really neat. You've got diminutive little Jinx. She's tiny, like she barely weighs anything. She's all red. She's got this cool mask on, these weird weapons. She's got tattoos on her arm. Just a really, really distinct character. And you know exactly what she is just by looking at her. And like I said, tattoos and stuff, like a lot of detail in this character, especially one being so small. Quick Kick, another martial artist like her, but a more robust. Even though he's small for a dude, he's more robust. He's not wearing shoes. He's not wearing a shirt. He can't get surface. He's got nunchucks. Again, good detail on him. I especially like his face and his hair with the headband and stuff. Really cool representation of him. Looks bang on from his G1 character in the cartoon and everything. This is just an awesome representation of Quick Kick. Rakondo. Remember, I wasn't really, like, I got him more because he's a classic Joe and everything, but I actually like him a lot better than I thought I would. The detail on his face, and then you put the hat on top, and it's so Rakondo, it's ridiculous. He's got so much cool weaponry, holsters everywhere for knives and guns. His detailing on the camo, on the jungle camo and everything, the muscles, everything. He's just super detailed. And like I said, I was looking forward to having this guy on my shelf because he's a classic Joe, but now I think this figure has made me actually appreciate Rakondo more, the character, than I did before I had this character. So yeah, this batch was just so impressive. And then you come upon Spirit. I mean, a Native American, obviously a different looking guy with the headband, the long hair with braids. He's got an eagle on his backpack, you know. Really different uniform compared to like the camo and the other stuff that the other guys have. You know, he's got a blue shirt, the gray pants, and then the boots. Like, he's a very distinct and different looking character from a lot of the rest of them. And then again, too, he's got holsters everywhere for everything, a lot of detail. And then, as you saw in the pictures, you could put the big wings on the bird to make him actually like fly and be a bird of prey in mid-action sort of thing, right? So more detail and a lot of good accessorizing on Spirit, just like on the rest of these guys. And then last up, my favorite, Blowtorch. This guy's hefty. He's heavy. You know, all of the gear, his uniform is pretty heavy. He's got the tanks on the back. He's got the helmet, the gas mask, the big blowtorch. And then his uniform is just, like, it's just so cool looking with the white and the red. And then all these little, I'm not even sure what those things are. But just such a neat looking character. And one of my favorites of all time, to finally see him represented on my shelf in a classified format. What a way to finish off 5 amazing characters with one of the most amazing. So really happy with this batch. Like I said, there's more to come. Now that I've opened these 5 and had such fun with them, and really enjoyed the 5 distinct, kind of different, varied characters. I hope the next batch doesn't let me down. But let's be honest, if I'm opening toys, very rarely am I ever going to be let down. Yo, Joe!
Meow.